The best thing you can do for poor people is to not be one of them.
That's right.
Yes, exactly. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Hey everyone, what's up? It is Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. This channel is going through a refresh, a re examination. The overall mission and core will stay the same, but and however, we are going to hyper focus. We're going to laser focus on the 4 M's, is what I'll call it. But until we get there, I want us to just take a quick review on some of the opportunities that some of you may have missed last year, still available this year, and also just exactly where some of our energy is going to lie. And it may not be as traditional as some of you may like, but we're going to talk more about things that are going to keep us strong in community. And we're just going to press ahead and be about that action. So get into this recap. And so we created this in order to help what we like to say future proof your income, because the future is changing. Things are changing. We have to, change right along with them. And so one of the ways to future proof your income is to generate more income. And even if you have a job, even if you are gainfully employed, as you can see, that can change tomorrow. That can change at a second's notice. And so, the best, or I would say the simplest way to do that is by understanding who you are from an emotional standpoint. And if you took the assessment, that's the first thing you should have figured out. Shell was part of the 28-day accountability challenge, where this is part of that as well, figuring out who you are. So, Shell, do you remember your emotional type?
I do. I am a rock with a touch of empath. So I'm dependable. I'm trustworthy. I'm a natural protector. I support others. That's kind of the my big thing is I'm a support to others. Uh, I'm grounded. I have a really calm presence, so people feel like they can trust me. I'm sort of a natural counselor. That's a trait I
Mhm.
have and naturally gravitate to. I have a strong work ethic also and a strong sense of responsibility.
Shell and I are twins. Just in case you didn't know, I am also a rock with a couple of shots of empath. And everything she just said about who she is definitely aligns with who I am. Andrea, can you share your emotional type, please?
Yes. So I'm the opposite. I'm an empath with a touch
Mhm.
of rock.
When you know your emotional type, the next thing you should know is how those emotional types line up with different type of business opportunities. So rather it's the rock who is good at being a coach to somebody, being, you know, someone who can keep them on course or whatever, or if it's an empath with, rock tendencies that can, be more of a counselor, but understanding what would be kind of effortless based on your emotional type. Like it's you're leaning into what comes natural. Then followed by an Andre, you could talk about the 100 things
Yeah.
that
So again, when I started my e-commerce business 10 years ago, I was told the goal is really to um, allow you to pivot quickly. So if you come up with an idea and you work on the idea and then you put it out there, and for whatever reason there's a not a good product market fit or whatever, you have 99 other ideas or 98 other ideas and you can pivot quickly because in those 100 ideas will be something that will allow you to generate five figures a month at least.
everyone's not starting off at five figures a month, right? But the goal is to have your eyes on the prize of nothing less than five figures, right? So rather that's five figures in a month, 2 months, 3 months. And five figures, that starts at 10,000 and goes up to what, 99.99999,000. And so the goal is to think big because you're leaning into what comes natural. It's a cheat code for me. Let's just say that I also use because yeah, I just believe it works. If you watch the 5 days, the tools that you were going to use is the passion to income matrix, the 5 figure offer test, the 5 day value drop method, and then you would develop your short term income plan. Within that, Andrea went into various AI resources that could help with you simplifying the process.
So the day one, decode your zone of genius, identify what makes you brilliant. We talked about that, right? Your natural gifts, monetizable skills, really leaning into what you naturally gravitate to, than trying to force yourself to do something like I've got to be into crypto or something that doesn't align. So day two is align your talents with a profitable problem. And really what that means is, you know, you could um, let's say you be an empath like me and decide that your um, business is petting cats. You're a cat petter, but there's nobody in your area that's willing to pay you to pet their cat. Um, it doesn't make sense to start a business doing that. You need to find a profitable problem, a problem that you can solve in your zone of genius that somebody will pay you to resolve. Um, and so that's what we went over in day two. Day three, we created the offer. Um, and a lot of people, when we're talking about online businesses, they don't like. Is anybody? Oh, there's one person on camera in this whole meeting because a lot of people don't like to be on camera. I see Maxine's coming off mute. um, and that's fine. So we went over your digital doppelganger so that you can create an AI twin that can be on camera for you. That's how you can deliver without having to be on camera. If you don't like the way you speak, you can clone your voice and have AI speak for you. So where it's great, but what it really does is sort of eliminate the excuses. Um, you can have your digital twin show up in places where you might not feel comfortable. Day four is build visibility. So, creating your online presence, launching your first visibility campaign, using the 5 day value drop method, which I think is brilliant. Value drop is like love bombing. It's showing up uh, online in a way that is delivering value to your uh, ideal customers over 5 days. And then day five is the 90-day income plan. This is where we build out your income goals, decide whether you like the solution enough to be a full time, or if that's a goal, or you want to keep it a side hustle. And then how to use AI tools to support.
And there's ways to learn how to use it ethically. There's ways to, select the ones that work best for you. Um, and there's ways to be responsible if that's your goal. But there's no excuse to not lean into this area.
Are you a vitamin or a painkiller?
Yes. So can you kind of just give that antidote?
So, if you think about it, vitamins are a nice to have. They are preventative, and some people take them and some people don't. And sometimes you are inconsistent with taking them. But when you have a toothache or back pain or neck pain. You're reaching for that pill and you will take it. And quite honestly, you'll pay whatever you have to pay to make that pain go away. So when you create a business, you need to create a business that is a painkiller, not a vitamin. That's the way to make sure that you have money. Something that solves a problem that people are like, I don't care what it costs. Now, let's be honest, people care. But when you're reaching for that aspirin and you want your headache to go away, your toothache to go away, you're not really concerned with whether that aspirin is $5 or $15. You're going to pay for it. But if it's a vitamin, you're like, no, I think I'll wait for the $8 bottle. You know, I don't like blue. That's when people get picky. So what we wanted to do is try to create a business that's a painkiller.
And we have added a bonus. That was a quick overview of what the Decode Your Talent and Design Your 5+ Figure Income boot camp looks like. But there is an additional element for 2026 for those who want to partake. And here it is right now. This is my life path number 7. And I'm not going to read the whole thing about me, but I want you to understand that it will probably make sense to you that this is who I am, right? People born with a life path 7 are eternal students of the universe. They are introspective individuals with a unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Y'all go back and just look on my YouTube channel since I started it, and you can kind of deduce that. And they enjoy looking into the inner working of things. Someone with this life path is a true thinker who lets their mind lead the way. Pretty much from the moment of birth, they are able to skillfully combine the exacting side of their brain with their divine intuitive side to learn about process and make sense of life itself. The life path in numerology is smart in knowledgeable ways, yet wise in a spiritual way. If y'all listen to me talk about what led me to start that blitz last year, I'm telling you, like, there's a third eye that I don't run away from. And it makes sense because I know my life path number. People with this life path number enjoy gaining book smarts, but they also are more connected to their higher self than most and have great access to this inner wisdom. While they are spiritual creatures, the life path 7 people don't tend to be the religious type, which is why I said to y'all, like, there's certain things I have to know when to share them, because for people who are super religious, y'all are main. I don't mean y'all like y'all. I mean y'all like people who are super religious. Maybe like, oh, that's demonic what she's talking about. Oh, that makes no sense. Oh, trust you me, I have done my research. The parts of the Bible that they gave to us when we came over here is not the complete Bible. And when you know that, it makes it easier for you to look into certain things and research. Strict doctrines that don't make room for new information are a turnoff to these inquisitive folks. There's one last thing I wanted to share. A 7 is not motivated by money or status first. You're driven by truth, mastery, and meaning. You excel in any field where you can research, analyze, teach, or uncover hidden knowledge. In 2026, after you watch the boot camp, you will be able to incorporate your life plan numbers. We'll help you with that. It's all about motivation, mindset, and momentum that will get you your money in 2026. The best thing you can do for poor people is to not be one of them.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.